Is coming back in again. She must have come in with different settings. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. I think most of you we've met actually. We had the good luck to have met already in Portugal last year before we came into this COVID-19 pandemic. So we've met face to face at least on one occasion. And today we're going to have a learning exchange on social media. We're going to focus on Twitter because it seems to be the most frequently used medium for our advocacy work, and it's used a lot for research work. We've done this kind of training in a couple of other fora before. We've tried to design this, including IFA, to sort of make it most useful for early stage researchers. And I wanted to start by a round of introductions and getting, so you will see the EDF team and we will meet you, because we do the training today as the EDF team like we do our social media in general, which is a big teamwork. So you know me, my name is Catherine, I'm the director of the European Disability Forum. I'll give the floor to my colleagues in EDF first, and then we'll ask you all to introduce yourselves. And also at the same time, when you introduce yourself, if you could say any specific things you would like to learn about social media, because we won't be able to cover everything today, but we can take note, and we have often trainings for staff and members that we can include you in. So I want to hear the kind of expectations you have, to meet them as much as we can today, but also to bear them in mind for either resources we would share with you afterwards or any future training that we can include you in. So Loredana, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Good afternoon. My name is Loredana, and I am a membership, internal communication and youth officer. And I am with very low vision, so call it sometimes blind functional. And I am today here from the perspective of accessibility.
Thank you very much, Loredana, for joining us for this today. Natalia.
Hi, everyone. Well, my name is Natalia Suarez, and I'm Communication Officer at EDF. So I'm dealing every day with social media accounts. And thank you for joining us today.
And Natalia will do the practical demonstrations, most of them today.
I will try.
Adriana. Adriana, are you happy to just put on your mic and introduce yourself and say if you have anything in particular you'd want to cover? Okay, I'll go to Colin.
Colin Kaki with NEI Galway and currently seconding at Leeds. I'd be keen to hear how social media can be used in policy influencing processes.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Colin. Claudia.
Hi, yes, based at the University of Leeds, I'm one of the ESRs, and I have to say I'm a little bit behind on social media generally, so I'm sure all of this will be very useful. Thanks.
Okay, great. Thanks very much, Claudia. Edmore.
Hello, I'm Edmore. I am at the University of Leeds. I'm interested in using social media for recruiting research participants.
Thank you very much, Edmore. And Eliona?
Hi guys, so it's Eliona from, based in Iceland, and I have no idea of Twitter.
Okay.
And my concern would be, being a new platform and knowing myself, is how can I avoid overdoing it if I decide to go in it?
Yeah.
And of course, accessibility for screen.
Yeah. Eliona, we're not planning to show anything today that cannot be done with a screen reader, and that's one of the reasons why Loredana has joined us too. And we're also going to cover the issue of not overdoing it towards the end of the session, because it is indeed one of the big risks.
Yeah, I saw the PowerPoint presentation, and thank you for sending that in advance. It makes a difference. Thank you.
Thanks, Eleanor. If you don't mind, NUI team, I'll just go directly to the next researcher. Hansu?
Yes, hello, I'm Han, and I'm based in Maastricht University in the Netherlands. And as some other colleagues have said, I don't really have any experience using Twitter or any social media. So
yeah,
really just
great.
Hear and learn. Yeah, thanks.
Fabulous. Thanks very much, Han. And Marissa?
Hi, I'm Marissa Diaz at Paraplegic Research at the University of Lucerne here in Switzerland. I have experience with social media, but I'm really interested in learning on how to make my posts accessible, specifically for the population of persons with intellectual and learning disabilities. I'm really interested in that. Thank you.
Fabulous. Okay, thank you very much. Then I have Mark, who I'm not going to call on. You can tell if you have expectations. I was skipping to be efficient. Tell me, Mark.
No, it's fine. So I'm Sir Mark, and I'm supervising 2-3 of the ESRs. But I am interested. One thing I'm interested in is that we kind of manage a lot of our social media collectively as a team rather than individual. So I'm kind of interested in that dynamic between individual and collective use of feeds.
Yeah, this is how we do it as well. So we can certainly discuss. Megan? I'm not sure if Megan is really connected there. I go to Rados.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Megan. Go ahead, Megan.
I'm based at the University of Iceland, and I am a reluctant social media user. And I would like to be a little bit more consistent and effective, especially with Twitter.
Okay, great. I'm quite sure I follow you, so I know you're a social media user. So, Rados?
Hi, everyone. I'm based at the University of Leeds. What I would like to learn from this session is that how could I create appealing content for other users on Twitter, especially because I was subtly encouraged by my supervisor to start using Twitter in the beginning, and also how could I search the relevant content for my research and build the audience.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. I'm just saying, because the list is going up and down there. I still have Radina.
Hi everyone, Radina here from the Netherlands. Similarly to Radosh, I'm interested in building an audience. Also a very reluctant social media user, so that would be very helpful.
Okay. So did I call on all the researchers already? Because the list of participants keeps moving up and down, so I'm not able to trace it really well. Did I miss out anyone? So if you could go back to the presentation, my colleague who's sharing it, I'm not sure now whether it's Joanna or Natalia. The first thing I want you to do is, if you would like EDF to follow you or engage with you on social media, you can put your Twitter handle in the chat box, in the participants list, because we'll do this very practically today. We'll create an account, we'll follow, we'll show you how to tweet. But the first thing I want to say for those who are reluctant is I don't feel there's any obligation for anyone to use Twitter. I think Colin mentioned at the beginning how to use it for advocacy. For us, it's one of a really important medium now for advocacy, because politicians are extremely sensitive to it. They're all present and they all engage. But it is not an obligation. For example, in EDF, no staff member is obliged to tweet. We have a main account. We have some organizational accounts. I can't see the presentation, by the way. We have the main account, we have some specific accounts, but people tweet on their own, voluntarily, except for Natalia, who does the formal EDF Twitter. And if people are interested, we can share the social media policy of EDF, which is binding on our staff and on our members, which sort of sets the standards of how we engage. Oh, thank you so much. You're all putting your social media handles there in the chat box, so this is really useful. Joanna.
I'm just coming back in from a tech perspective. Natalia, are you struggling to put that shared screen?
Yeah, so if you can share it, it would be appreciated because I can't.
Thank you, Joanna.
No problem, sorry.
Thank you.
At some point, I'm going to lose track if I don't have the presentation. Yeah, so what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you when the presentation comes up what the objectives that we had imagined for the presentation. So you can already go to purpose and objectives, the third slide. So for those who haven't already, Natalia will demonstrate how to set up a Twitter account, including how to set the privacy settings, which are really important, and they're a moving target on Twitter, so that we will create readable and accessible tweets with a focus on how you tag people, which is how you basically link to somebody else's account that you want to engage with, how you use hashtags, which are a way of creating a thread around a theme, but which I'm also told are going out of fashion, and how to make sure that your graphics are accessible by putting alternative text, and how to use links. So if you want to share a document or an article with people, how you link that in your social media, in your Twitter feed. To look at our own motivation and reason for using Twitter, when people say they're reluctant, I don't think anyone should be forced, as I mentioned. I think if you have a specific objective and you decide, for example, I use social media only for work, Twitter only for work, so you won't find out what I'm having for breakfast, which also means I'm less interesting to follow. So people who have very big following often use it in a very multidimensional way, share a lot of personal views, and that makes them very engaging. So I think it's good to start off with a clear idea of what you want to do, and then how to learn and engage with your audience, which some of you already mentioned. The next slide. So we wanted to give you an idea, because with social media, you have to use your judgment a lot of the time. There's very few rights and wrongs. So something, for example, which is a great tweet might also be a very risky tweet when you're sharing your views about things. Many people will follow and engage, but it might not be what you want to have people doing. So I think it's good for you to be able to analyze what different kinds of Twitter usage can do for you. And we'll focus on examples from the field of research and disability related policy. And then we'll also share with you some documents for further learning, because there's a lot online on Twitter. And then at the end, we'll talk a little bit about social media news, so time management and avoiding the pitfalls. I'm letting in George. Avoiding the pitfalls of social media as they are. The next slide. So I think actually we've covered most of the things that people have asked for, but I know that when we start to do things, more questions may come up. The training is planned, the first part, for 45 minutes. We'll see if we manage to get through all the practical demonstration in this time, during which time you can practice on your phone or on your computer if you want. We'll have a 20 minutes break. And then we have more discussion focused session after the break for 30 minutes. The next slide. So I'm going to give the floor now to Natalia, who is our communications officer who runs EDF, my EDF Twitter account. Thanks very much, Natalia.
Thank you, Catherine. And hi, everyone. From what I've seen, I think there are different types of Twitter user profiles here. I see that some of you already have an account and you will be using it to different degrees, but I'm sure that all of you have heard of Twitter. So I will start from the beginning. Twitter was created in 2006. It is a free social media platform, and it is based on microblogging system that allows users to send and receive short posts, as you know. These messages are called tweets, and I'm sure that all of you have heard of them. And well, the text can't be no longer than 280 characters. And next slide, Joanna, please. So I have brought you a couple of facts to give you an overall perspective on the use of the platform worldwide. So according to Twitter, in 2020, there were a total of 1.3 billion accounts created. But you have to know that not all accounts have activity. So of those 1.3 billion accounts, only 339 million were active. Well, in other words, they created content or interacted within the platform. What is incredible here is the amount of activity on Twitter, with 500 million tweets posted daily. That's on average 6,000 tweets every second. Of course, the quality of information is debatable here, but the statistics are certainly surprising. In terms of, well, user profile, Twitter has reported that the 60% of the users are men compared to 30% of women. The age average is located between 25 and 34 years old. And well, furthermore, 80% of world leaders have an account. That's the Twitter powerful here. And only just 26.4% of journalists use the platform. The most frequently used topics in 2020 have been first COVID. We are constantly talking about the pandemic, so it couldn't be otherwise on Twitter. And the second most used hashtag was Black Lives Matter. This is an example of the extent to which Twitter serves as a multiplier to civic social movements to empower their cause. So as Kashin mentioned, I'm going to try to make this part of training more practical if the technology allows me. So I'm going to try to share my screen again. And if not, well, Joanna, if you can help me with that, because otherwise I don't know how can I do it. So let me share my screen. I don't know if you can see my screen, my browser.
No, not at the moment.
No, I can't.
In the meeting options, Joe, do you have the possibility to allow participants to share screens?
Yeah, I'm trying, but I click on the. I think I'm clicking on the right option.
Yeah, it could be that only the meeting organizer can share the screen.
Oh, okay.
No, who can present? Everybody is ticked.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that should be it.
This is where I have to admit, it's absolutely no point in me sharing my Twitter screen because I'm
not sure that now you are seeing my screen because it says that. Okay.
Yes, now we can see it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to create an account I'm going to set up an account, and then we are going to review all the functionalities that Twitter allows us to do. So I'm going to.
So we're seeing your team screen at the moment, Loredana. If you can toggle the windows.
You can see my
Teams. We're seeing your Teams window, I think.
You should be able to select.
Yeah, yeah. I select Chrome, but I think now.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go to. Well, I'm going to Twitter, and then I'm sorry.
Natalia, can I ask a very perhaps stupid or basic question?
No, go ahead.
Is there an app?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to. I'm going to explain that now. I'm going to share the web interface of Twitter. But if you download the app on your smartphone, well, you will see that all the functionalities and all the menus are in the same place. So it is quite similar, but in the web, you will see it more. I shared this because yeah, and the web interface is more, is bigger to show. So, but of course there is well, an app, and most of the users use Twitter in their smartphone, not in web. Okay, so I don't know what is happening. Like, I'm trying to. Okay, so sorry, because I'm going to log out, and because I wanted to show you from the beginning. Okay, so well, this is in Spanish, but well, I will explain it step by step. So for create an account, you just need a Twitter account. You just need an email. Okay, so I just created one for this purpose. So once we are on Twitter, this is the web interface web, and you just need to click on register in the option here, and it will appear well, a pop-up, and well, you will see that this process is very intuitive, and the application will guide you well, all over the steps. So you will be asked for a name. I will type my name here, and then you will be asked for a telephone number or an email. Just for you to know that don't worry, because this information it won't be public. It's just a way to for Twitter to verify your identity. So depending on the option you choose here, either a telephone or an email, you will receive a numerical code that you will have to enter on the next screen. So I will put my email here. I will add my date of birth, February 27th, and then I click on next. Click on next, and here is the, well, yeah, just to register that everything is okay. So you click on register. So here you will have to add your verification code that you receive on your email. And I think I have received it. Okay. Here. Okay. I will put that verification code, and I will click on next. Okay. As every app or every platform, you will need a password. So I create one. Okay, and now I'm going to skip these steps because we're going to do it later. This is your profile, but now I'm going to put English for you to check. English. Okay, so here you will see that well, Twitter will ask you about your interests here. And as you may know, all social media are based on algorithm. So when you are registered in the platform, you are creating your own algorithm. Your interest here will help the platform to start suggesting accounts according to your interest. So, for example, I will choose. Okay, so I will choose science and let's say startups, for example, and I click on next. And here you will see that Twitter is suggesting me accounts to follow. I will skip this for now because I will talk it later. Okay. So we already have an account. You just need an email to follow these steps. You see that they are quite easy to follow, and this is the homepage of Twitter. On the left screen, you will see that is the main menu, and in the center of the screen, there is we have the feed where all the activity of the users we follow will appear here. And on the right side of the web, there are some options such as trends or the most used hashtag depending on your location. Let me first change the language. I will change it to in English so everyone can follow this. Okay, now, perfect. So the next step when you have created your account is to start shaping your identity on Twitter, to create your personal brand. And a fundamental part of this is the username. This long name that we have and is preceded by an @ the username or handle is part of your identity on Twitter, as this is what the other users will use to mention you in their tweets. If you can, the best practice to sign up for Twitter by using your name completely, but while assuming that somebody else isn't already using it. To edit it, you just have to go to the main menu in the left side, and you just need to go to the main menu here, more, and then if you go to settings and privacy, you have the option your account, and under this menu you have also your account information. Here you can change, you can edit that part that is really important for your identity in Twitter. Okay. So here you can change your personal information, and here you can change your username. Well, Twitter will tell you if it's available or not. I mean, if you can change, for example, Natalia Suarez, you see that that username is taken, so I can't choose that. And Twitter gives you suggestions of username that are already free to use. Remember that all Twitter accounts are preceded by an @ Okay, so well, I'm going to leave it as it is because it will take a lot of time. But yeah, I will change it, and that will be my username. But the best practice is to use your name. So once that you have your username ready, the next step is to edit your profile. Your Twitter profile is let's say your presentation card. So it is the first thing that other users will see about you, and when they see your account. So if you go to the main menu on your left, you see that is the option of profile. You click on it, and this is let's say your homepage on Twitter is the first thing that the other users will see. And here you can include, well, you can include a photo, you can include a header, the image on the back of your profile, and you can include a brief description. So for you to edit, you just need to click on Set Up Profile, and it will appear options here. You can include, as I said, an image, add a photo. I will click on my photo, open, click on Apply, and here's my photo. Okay, and a header. Okay, like for example this one, and next. And here, well, you can include the description of yourself, introduce yourself, and say what you do, where do you do it, or what are your interests. So I can create one for me. Okay, so communication officer at, you can tag where you are, and working to advance the rights of persons with disabilities. You can put what are your interests, for example, passionate about photography and poetry, for example. My views. Okay, and click on next. So, well, our profile is updated, and that's the first thing that other users will see from you. I think it's well, it is easier to edit and to put a personal account here. Okay, so I have updated everything, and now we can start to see the main functionalities that Twitter has. The first thing to start having activity in your feed is to search for users you are interested in, so that you always have their latest posts. In this case, you see that Twitter has suggested me, well, some accounts that are according to my interest, or are well, they have a lot of followers on my location. And well, I have a search engine on the top, so I can put here, for example, I can search for there. You see that well, Twitter is suggesting everything because it's based on search. So I will begin, for example, to look for their account, and you have top latest people. If you click on people, well, I don't know if this is your guy, but you can follow it. And for example, I can.
It's not the Dare account, actually.
Okay.
The Dare account is Research Dare.
Research there. Okay. Thank you, Catherine. So here you have the Dare account, and I can follow. So just for you to know, when you found the user, all you need to do is click on it, and when you are on the user's profile, you will have an option on this right side. And as I did, you click on follow. And well, as soon as you click on it, you will start to follow it. And from the moment on, every activity of that user will appear in your feed. The mechanism is the same to unfollow the account. If I click here, I will unfollow the account. Okay. And I will do it again. For example, or one of your handles. I will
Rados is already there. It says you might like, and you've got Rados, who's one of the DARE researchers, is already there.
So I will follow Rados, for example. Rados, I'm following now you, and well, I can follow now an account and produce more content. So you will see that the appearance of their tweets in my feed, for example, BBC, or I will click on follow to BBC, and let's see if in these few minutes they publish a tweet so we can see it on my feed. So once we have started following users, as we have said, Twitter is a social media, so it is based on interactions between users. You can see the interactions below in the form of icons in each of the tweets posted. For example, in this one, you see that this is the message, and on the bottom you see that there are little icons, and here you have the main interaction functionalities. So from the right to the left, we can see a heart is the like icon. They are used to show appreciation for a tweet. So if you click or you tap on the heart, it will turn red. So you are confirming that you've liked the tweet. To undo, you just need to click again, and it will disappear. Okay, it's just that easy. And next to this heart icon, we have two arrows creating like a circle. And here we have two different options to do. We can retweet or we can quote a tweet. If you are retweeting, you are reposting a tweet. So this feature helps you and others quickly share that tweet with all of your followers. So I will do it. I can do retweet or quote tweet. If I retweet it, it will appear. It will appear on my followers, this activity. And if you click on quote tweet, well, you will see that a screen pop up, and this functionality is perfect for when you want to add onto an idea, quickly sharing both the original and your comment. So in the first case, when you retweet, you will only see the other user's tweet on your profile, and those who follow you will see in their feed that you have retweeted it. And in this second option, will show that you have included a comment in the retweet. For example, incredible news. Okay, and I click on tweet, and automatically, as you see, the tweet was sent, and you will see that in my profile, I can see a retweet and a quote tweet. Okay, and I will always come back here, and in the third icon, it is a bubble, and it is the option to answer that account. If you click on it, you will see that it is a compose box that pops up, and you can type in your message. I can say, for example, see this news, and will appear as a reply. Okay, here. So that account, BBC, can see my comment. Okay, so now that we know how we can interact with other users and what they can do with our tweets, let's create our first post. So for that, we just need to click on tweet here on the left side of the screen. In the app, well, it will appear at the bottom right of the screen, and you will see that it's a plus with a feather as an icon. And there, when you click on it, automatically this pop-up appears with a sentence inside saying what's happening. Here we can include our messages, which, remember, cannot exceed 280 characters. We can write, but we can also add hashtags, mention users or tag users, links, emojis, and images to your messages. Well, let's do our first tweet. For example, attending to a social media training with, and now I wanted to tag an account. So we already know that all the accounts are preceded by an @ So if I want to mention, if I want to tag an account, I need to put an @ and then I will start writing the account. You will see that Twitter suggests me some accounts that I'm following, but then it will appear according to what I'm writing. So I will say their research here, and attending to a social media will research their colleagues. And I continue typing, for example, thanks to, okay, again, my EDF. You will see that suggests to me account, my EDF, for all the tips. Okay. And now if you want to include an emoji, you have an option here on the bottom with an smiley. You can click here and you can use emojis. Don't overuse emojis because it's not readable. For me, the best practice is 1, 2, no more. I will use the clap icon, okay? And now it will appear automatically to my message. And then I'm going to include the hashtag in their tweets. Well, hashtags are labels for content. You can create one, as I do here, or you can use those that are in use. As you can see, when I'm writing the hashtag, again, Twitter suggests me some hashtags linked to what I'm writing, and most of them are used on Twitter. So I will create this one, and well, I can say about the hashtag that a best practice for creating a new one is to keep them short. Obviously, we are talking about a social media that it is based on short messages, and no more than 2 or 3 words, and try always to capitalize first letters of the word. Like, for example, here, their tweets, the D is capital and T also is capital. So it is a quite good hashtag. Hashtag helps others who are interested in a certain topic quickly find content on that same topic and engage with others. You will see, for example, that trending topics are often mentioned on Twitter. There are always the most used hashtags at a given moment on the platform. And we can also add links to both websites and documents. To include them, you just need to copy and paste them into your message. So, for example, I continue to type in. We want to know more about the project. Click on the following link. And here I can include, for example, their web. Okay. Well, to improve accessibility on links, and especially if it's a document, always try to specify what kind of document it is. For example, read this PDF, read this Word document, etc. And now that I have my text ready, I'm going to include an image. To do so, I just need to click on the landscape icon on the bottom of this of my tweet here, and I'm going to select the image. Important for images is to include an alternative text, and for that, after uploading the image, you just need to add the description just below the image. You have the option add description, and here you can include that alternative text. Twitter has already included this functionality by default, but it is still optional for users to include it. So always remember how important it is to include the description to improve access the information for people who use screen readers. So in my case, I can add the description of this image. Like, for example, I have it here, so we not lose time. Okay, so I include a description, presentation with white background and text in blue and black. And in the central part of the image, you can see the EDF logo in the form of a blue bubble with red and white lines. The title of the presentation is Accessible Social Media. Below the subtitle, Training for their Early Stage Research. And the date, March 23rd, 2021. And at the top left is a Twitter icon, bird, along with the hashtag their tweets. So be specific and try to describe what is on the image. So now you can click on save, and the alternative description is already saved. Here you can also tag people on images, and it's all the option and the same place that you see or you find the alternative text option. You can have here the tag people option. You click and you can search people, research there, and for example, my EDF. You will see that again, Twitter is always suggesting you hashtags, counts, and you click on done. And in this part, you also tag, not only you mention here in the message, but also you can include on the image. And you click on tweet, and that is our first tweet was sent. You can see it here in your profile, in the menu on your left side. And here you see that I have created my first tweet, and other users, my followers and other users, can interact with them. You can like retweet or quote tweet and comment my message. And I think that's it. Well, I know it's a lot of information all at once, so I don't know if you have any questions or.
Thank you very much, Natalia. I'm just noting in the chat box, I mentioned that I tweeted some things using Dare Tweets, and Mark pointed out that we're not the only one using that hashtag. So this is one thing which changes day by day with social media. When we made the training, there weren't these other tweets with Dare Tweets, and this can happen with, for example, I remember a few years ago, organizations had to change social media handles because of ISIS, because, you know, organizations like International Service and stuff became, you know, like their hashtags were ISIS. So it may be that another, you know, trend takes over and uses your hashtag and you might not want to be associated with it. So I think this is, Mark is now saying there's people saying we use Dare Research. Dare Research is, we just wanted to have one thing for the training today, which is not about your research, because we flood a little bit with this Dare Tweets. It's only for the session today.
Yeah, of course, it's just, an example, but of course, social media is always changing, as Catherine said, and if you don't want to be associated with hashtag, please don't use it, because it is always changing and evolving. So I think for me, it's for now it's okay. I don't know if Loredana can help me with well, we can explain a little bit about more functionalities and accessibility and shortcuts.
I hope you can hear me. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me, maybe you can see me. I'll try and see. So I'll try also to see if I can share a screen, but before that, it is very important to know that as you see the Twitter interface, as it is so complicated for screen reader users. And I personally, I use when I'm on my way or I'm moving, then I use on my phone. And I think even there I use another application than the one from Twitter itself. Is it Tweetify or is it something else? I forgot its name. I have to look it up, but I can send it to you. While when I am on computer, I'm using a program which is called Chicken Nugget. That's the name. And I can try to show you. I will see if I manage to share my screen. I think. Can you see it?
Yes, Lorena. Yes.
Okay, so you see it's a simple program, and the tweets are in a list. You don't see any pictures because as a screen reader user, I don't really need all those pictures, and I have so a list with all the tweets. So I have here the Twitter from Catherine Norton with Natalia Suarez attending a training. So it's about this one. And then when I just click simply on the context menu, which is a button on my keyboard. So it's on the right side of the keyboard after the Alt right side. And so then I have the context menu. I can immediately choose what I want to do with that tweet. So I will just choose like, and it's gone. So this helps me as a person with screen reader to go quickly and be able to tweet and react at the same speed like non-screen reader users, because with the screen reader, if you go and you need to navigate between the tweets and it's moving all the time, so on the website you will have something else, you need to go again and navigate, you will be lost. So this is a solution that was found. Yeah, unfortunately now this program costs $15, but for me it's really useful, so I paid it once and that's it. And I have on the left side of the screen other possibilities, so I can make also, I can go in the liked tweets or replies or my tweets, and I can also make lists, and it's lists I have. So in it allows me to do quite something. So this is very important if you meet or if you know someone. Yeah, Twitter is very usable by blind and partially sighted or screen reader users, others than those ones, using alternative programs. And there are also alternative programs for example, managing your tweets as an organization, or you want to have them by topic or by hashtag, but that Twitter, the interface itself maybe does not allow that well. There are other applications that allow you much more to do and to better, yeah, classify them or use the more appropriate scheduling tweets or this kind of thing. So this is why I wanted to mention a little bit. There are also key comments for the website. I put a link there in the presentation. Sincerely, I had difficulties and always that's a little bit tricky with the key comments on the website, because my screen reader, I'm using a common one, has already from the key comments, the ones of the program, and then you have specific ones for when you are using internet. So sometimes those key comments may clash with the ones used by either my screen reader program or by internet itself, and then it's a problem. And then also, which Twitter are you using? The key comments there are for English, but on my on this computer I have in English, but on my home one I have Windows installed in Dutch, so Twitter goes automatically in Dutch. Then again, they don't work so properly, so it's always a struggle to find, are they working, are they not working? But at least they are proposed, and maybe for some other people, even for you, they may be useful. So if you have questions, I'm at any time available. Don't hesitate. Thank you. Now, how do I?
Thank you, Loredana. I need you.
Stop my
screen. Yes.
Someone can stop it.
I think you have an option on the top of your screen, but I'm not sure.
No. Yeah, I think you share it now.
Yes, now you can see my again the user that we have set up. And before going to the break, I just wanted to tell you well a little bit about the privacy option that we have on Twitter. So the platform allows users to control the privacy to some extent. Let's say that it gives us tools so you can limit your engagement, or you can limit the way other people engage you. So if you go to the main menu on your left side, you have an option, and you click on more. you have that option of settings and privacy, and under settings and privacy, you will find some interesting options here. For example, you can protect your tweets. That means that if you don't want to share your activity with anyone other than your followers, you have that option here. Security and account access. Here you can have it privately. And well, we have previously talked about the images that other users can tag accounts in the photos. If you don't want to appear, if you don't want that other users tag you, you can activate also the option here under privacy and safety, audience and tagging. You have here the option photo tagging, and here you can activate or deactivate the option. And last, well, under that privacy and security menu, you have here an option, mute and block. And so imagine that you don't want to see content related to a particular topic, or, well, you can mute certain words. So when you mute those words, you will never see any tweets from any accounts you follow that contains them. Okay, here I click on mute, and you have this option that you can muted words. As for blocking accounts, as you see, well, as you use Twitter, you will notice that there are many bots or unreliable accounts that follow you or send you messages. So you have to know that you can always block them here. You can always block accounts. There are so many options, but I think we have covered the most basic ones. So for me, I think I covered everything. I don't know if you have questions or comments or...
One thing that we could do, Natalia, is take the break now and then let people absorb and come back afterwards, potentially with questions. What do people think about that?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, okay, that's great. So it's now, we started late, we went for about an hour. It's now 2:40 about Brussels time. So if we take a break of 20